Hello there and welcome to This is Culture. A lot has been happening on the continent. Zambia now publishing newspaper articles in Mandarin, and the government claims that the move was a business decision to attract the Chinese readership and advertising, making us to wonder the percentage of the Chinese population in the country. But there's more to this between the Zambian government and China. Of course, looking at the debt the country has from China, but Zambians are outraged by the whole situation. And maybe to take you back just a little of the incident that occurred in Kenya in September, when a Chinese national insulted Kenyans and even President Uhuru Kenyatta when he said they are all monkeys and dirty. Maybe this might just give us an idea of what Africa could be getting into with the latest incident in Zambia.
Like, you are punishing me.
Because you're Kenyan.
So you are punishing me because
Everyone, every Kenyan, even Anna, this is all the Kenyans, like a monkey. Even Uhuru Kenyatta, all of them.
It's like a monkey.
Yeah, sure.
The president of this country.
Yeah, sure. You can go to court and tell me. I don't like here, like a monkey people. I don't like talk with them. Smell is bad, and poor, and foolish, and black. Who like them?
So the man was deported, but the video that went viral on social media raises concerns of the Chinese attitudes towards Africans and their influence on the continent. So what exactly could be going on, especially with the latest situation in Zambia, imposing their language in Zambia, yet Zambians do not really speak this language? I was able to speak to Laura Miti, the executive director of the Alliance for Community Non-Governmental Organization in Zambia, and I asked her how Zambians continue to react to waking up to a newspaper article written in Chinese.
It was a sense of shock first and then disbelief that there was an article in the paper that the Minister of Information said was directed at the Chinese community in order to raise coverage and business for the government newspaper. I think the response is very much linked to the way Zambians feel about Chinese influence in the country and Chinese influence on the government. There is a sense almost that if we're not careful, we'll wake up one day and we will be a Chinese colony. So that the response has not been good at all. I think there's a sense of helplessness almost, that what can we do?
And Laura, what do you think this means for Zambians and Africans as a whole? Because we know of the several investments of China all across the continent. What should the governments do?
I think Zambians and Africans need to hold their own governments to account. I don't think we can blame the Chinese. The Chinese are in this for their own interest. So they found African governments and maybe even citizens willing and debating their own strategy to access as much raw natural resources as they can, access timber in Zambia, access minerals. And so you don't blame the person who's working for their own interests, because we are sovereign countries. So we should hold our own government to account and say the relationship with China has to be thought through, and above all has to be in the interest of the locals, the interest of the country. You can't ignore China. You cannot not have a relationship with China. But we have to take control of that relationship, and then we should demand transparency about what is happening. Right now, there is absolutely no transparency. So if speaking to Africans and speaking to Zambians, I'd say forget the Chinese for a while and put pressure on our own government.
The thoughts of Laura Miti, the Executive Director of the Alliance for Community Non-Governmental Organizations, speaking to us from Lusaka in Zambia. So the Chinese influence in Zambia, not only in Zambia, but also in Africa in general, is something we definitely should really keep an eye on. And last, we pay tribute to French-Armenian singer and actor Charles Aznavour, who passed away at the age of 94. He was described as the French Frank Sinatra and was best known for his ballads She and La Bohème. His performing career spanned 8 decades and he sold more than 180 million records. He was also one of France's most recognized faces abroad. The world will surely miss Charles Aznavour. And that's it from me today. Till next time, have a great week.